Now, some people aren't going to like this, and it's going to rub some people the wrong way, and that's totally fine. I would avoid investing in, and I recommend that you avoid investing in these as well. First and foremost, Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency, okay? Now, I'm not telling you that, you can't put money into these things, but let's call a spade, guys, okay? These are not investments. Bitcoin is not an investment. Cryptocurrency is not an investment. I've got to avoid going off on a tangent here because I can get really heated and kind of passionate about this. But when you're buying Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, you're not investing, okay? You're speculating and you're hoping that it continues to go up. There's clearly no balance sheet on Bitcoin. There's no indicator of a potential trend. Anybody that tells you they know Bitcoin's going to go up, or they know cryptocurrency is going to go up, or they know it's going to go down at a certain period of time is either full of shit, or clearly they have like an insider trading thing. That's not something you want to be involved in anyway, right? So regardless, I would say that they're more along the lines of being full of shit. But that said, avoid investing in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency if you want to call yourself an investor, or if you want to invest, okay? Now, if you want to speculate and take a risk, that's a different story. But Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, not an investment. It's a speculation and a prayer, okay? Now, I've done a video on this on why you shouldn't invest in Bitcoin. I'm going to actually drop that next in this actual course already. So it's really going to kind of outline why you should only invest in things that you understand, have proven track records, obviously, that you can look into, right? So like look at the balance sheet, look at the market, look how different things like that, like we've already outlined in a previous lecture, and that you can afford to wait long term on, okay? And that you can potentially influence the outcome, although a lot of us can't influence the outcome of certain stocks. So what you can afford to wait long term on, and you understand and has a proven track record and a good balance sheet, okay? So any stock that has a good balance sheet, any stock that has any stock that has a bad balance sheet, obviously you're avoiding, like we covered before. Any stock that has negative earnings, like we covered before. I would recommend also avoiding startups or IPOs. So IPO basically stands for initial public offering, which is basically when a company first goes public. Stop playing the lottery with these things, okay? Stop playing the lottery with your investments. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, that's playing the lottery. You're guessing and speculating and hoping, okay? Startups and IPOs, often, that's playing the lottery. That's not an investment, okay? There's no proven track record. You can't really look too much into the balance sheet or the long history of that company over the long haul. There aren't numbers to obviously give you that data because it's an IPO. So I would recommend not going after startups and IPOs. Play it safe, or a little bit more on the safe side, and go after things that are proven that will make you money, okay? So are there examples of people, obviously, that buy into super low stocks, at their startup level, or buy into an IPO at the startup level and then strike gold? Of course, you hear about them all the time, but it's because that happened, and that's the anomaly that you hear about them, okay? The far majority of people will not yield that result. For every one that hits, there's probably 100 others, or 1,000 others, or 10,000 others that, didn't, okay, that lost money on it and wasted their money and speculated and hoped, okay? But to give you a funny example, right, when you hear everybody has this, person in their lives where it's like you hear Uncle Frank's brother's kid's wife's, son bought 100 shares of company X 30 years ago and now it's worth 350,000, okay? Major anomaly there. Don't buy into that hype. Don't buy into that story. Don't speculate, and don't play the lottery with your money. Don't play the lottery with your investments, okay? So stocks that pay a dividend that's too high, also a major red flag. So anything above 10% is probably risky. I like to stay closer to like 5% or lower, although there are some reputable companies that pay high dividends and have a history of paying those high dividends and are known to pay high dividends. To give you an example, two of the I call them two of the cell phone provider companies, but they're really data companies as well. So Verizon and AT&T both usually pay typically high dividends. It can fluctuate anywhere from like 4 to like 8 to 9%, but that's why I say 10% is probably risky. But realistically, anything close to 8% that's not one of those reputable companies, probably a little bit risky as well. So keep that in mind. Also, anything that you can't either afford to wait long term on or help affect the company's stock positively. Those are things that you should avoid investing in. I'm sure it'll rub people the wrong way here and there, but hey, I'm just trying to give you the raw facts. I'm trying to give you the data here, and these are things that you cannot prove. You can only speculate on, so avoid them.